It's a story about a CEO who took a complete U-turn, changed strategies, went on a Tinder date, found a young, ambitious developer, and then leading up to the biggest product launch in our 20 years history. That's the essence of the story. Beginning pre-pandemic, we were developing a training management system, and we were really good to stay true to our product strategy. We had a very clear intention on building only a training management system. We knew exactly what we should build and what we shouldn't build. And at that point, pre-pandemic, I was pretty clear we were not going to build an LMS, because we realized there were so many others doing that, and we felt we couldn't, spread our efforts, our limited resources to both a TMS and an LMS. And then 12th of March 2020, the pandemic hit us, lockdowns, and we realized that digital solutions, particularly digital learning solutions, would be really, really important. The digital shift hit us way faster than I think anyone expected. And so literally over a weekend, I sat down with a developer and we built an integration with Moodle and an LMS. And we thought, okay, let's make a seamless integration with Moodle, and then we'll offer everything in one solution. And then what happened later, we actually lost 2 cases. 2 prospects rejected us because we couldn't, while we could provide everything in one platform seamlessly, we couldn't provide it from one provider. So that made me lose some sleep, actually. I was thinking about this for a long time. I thought, how are we going to be competing in this market if more training provider wants to have, both the LMS and the TMS from one provider? The more I thought about it, I thought about the market. It's a $300 billion market. We're seeing the digital shift really fast. We had a magnificent position in Scandinavia. The more I thought about it, this presents such an opportunity for us that I think we should do something more than just integrate with third-party providers. I had an epiphany and I decided, no, we're gonna actually get our own LMS. And I made a complete U-turn, changed strategy completely. Started to thinking about how do we do this? And I basically came up with 3 different solutions. We could white label a provider, make it our own, and integrate it into our TMS. We could buy an LMS provider and integrate it, or we could build our own. And I realized the 2 first ones would probably be a shorter way to the goal. But I also realized the 3rd one was going to help us tailor make it more to what we wanted to build. So I opted for the 3rd one. Then in all of this, I was a single guy, went on a Tinder date, met someone really exciting. We had a good time. And then through her, I actually met some friends. And through the friends, I met very ambitious and sharp young man whom I connected really well with, actually. We talked a lot about AI and blockchain and everything. Didn't think about it, actually, but then we offered a position in marketing, in content marketing. It was actually a part-time position. And Alan called me and said, listen, I'm interested in joining as a part-time content manager. And I thought right away that, no, Alan, we're not going to be talking about content marketing. We're going to talk about product development and programming, because I know that he had a lot of experience and was really sharp in that area. So I said, let's do a team meeting and talk about some other stuff I have on my mind. And we did, and Alan came up with an idea that was really well in line with what I had cooking in the back of my mind with regard to the e-learning. And he said, why don't we build an e-learning platform based on AI with spaced repetition? And I thought, that's a great idea, I said. And I challenged him to come up with a presentation the next week on what he had in mind. So we met next week. It was a great presentation. I said, let's do it. And we actually, in that meeting, I decided, let's do a summer intern. Alan came on board that summer, and it was really funny, because I I was thinking, so what should the scope of the summer internship be? And I was thinking, let's make the summer internship about scoping out the requirements for the LMS. I thought that was a nice ambition to have for the summer. When Alan came, he was way ahead of me. He wanted to start building the LMS that summer. So in about the first week, we had a really nice scope and feature list. We had also some really good ideas about what was important for us, guiding principles for the LMS. And so from basically the summer of 22 until now, we have built the LMS from scratch until launch. And while it's an MVP, we're getting some really good feedback on what we've built. And we also have done a lot of work with the database and the setup to make sure we can take advantage of all the AI features that we want to build into the LMS. And so it's been a very interesting process. It's been quick, but also not without challenges, because we restarted basically 3 times during the last 12 months. We had a tech stack that was really, really exciting, but it was probably too early for it because the support on it was really lacking. And then we decided that we couldn't go with that because we needed support, so we scrapped it. Then we found a new tech stack, began developing, and actually only a few months before the first planned launch, we decided we couldn't go with it. We basically had to start all over again because we couldn't meet our 3 objectives. And then we built from scratch again, and it was a bold move. I just made that decision because this was too important to be half-heartedly about it. We wanted to build something we could be really proud of and really say, yeah, it's user-friendly, it's engaging, and it produced good learning outcomes. That was the 3 goals we had. And so now here we are, we're approaching launch, and while that's a big milestone, it's just, it's just the start, because we have so many ideas on what we want to build, and it's a really exciting time for us in FrontCore, because in my opinion, in our 20-year history, it's the biggest product launch. So yeah, it's an interesting story, but also a story about perseverance, staying true to what you want to build, and also being growth orientated and being open-minded to every idea that comes in and comes along from anyone. So I hope you'll jump in and try it out for free and see what you think. Love to have your feedback.